Hey folks, Brian Blessing, glad to be with you at ATS.io. We're talking PGA Tour, and they're back to playing all by their lonesome after Cam Smith and Mark Leishman win the Zurich Classic in New Orleans, teaming up to get the W. How about it, the Australians against the South Africans, Louis Oosthuizen and Charles Schwartzel. Those two guys coming in good form could make some noise at this week's event. We've got the Valspar Open at Innisbrook, the Copperhead Course. 71 is the par, 7,340 yards is the distance, and of course you got the Snake Pit. Two brutal par 4s and a par 3 on holes 16, 17, and 18. And a unique deal here, no tournament last year, but Paul Casey on the board at 22-1. A two-time defending champ. He won this 2 years in a row, and believe me, that is a rarity on the PGA Tour. We get the big boys that are back in action. Justin Thomas, 9-1. Dustin Johnson, 11-1. Patrick Reed, a runner-up here a couple of years ago, is on the board at 18-1. The Canadian Corey Connors at 20-1. Ty Hatton, 28-1. Victor Hovland playing pretty good. He's close to knocking the door down and getting a win. But in terms of some of the guys that you have to be wary of, when Casey won with, by the way, a winning score of 1 over par 72, tells you the course is brutally tough. And then you look at guys that maybe fare well in majors that could step up and make some noise. As I said, Oosthuizen was a runner-up by one shot to Casey. He's 25-1. Charles Schwartzel's 125-1. These guys did play well. Last week, Schwartzel played well at the Masters. I'll tell you a guy that I would take a look at, who's, I believe, still flying under the radar, had a really good run at the Masters off a lengthy layoff. Justin Rose at 40-1 is absolutely a guy I'd take a long, hard look at. I think Justin Rose at 40-1, if it's set up along the lines of thick, rough, and that open kind of setup, I think you could look at a guy like Justin Rose at a price. And another name that's out there to me is Gary Woodland, who he lost all the weight. He's really trimmed down. He really looks different. But don't forget, at 80-1, that's a great price for a guy that won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach. And he did finish 6th at the Texas Valero Open before, playing so-so, but making the cut at the Masters. So price plays for me would be Justin Rose and Gary Woodland I take a look at. And I got to give one of the South Africans, if not both of them, a peek. And that would be Charles Schwartzel and Louis Oosthuizen. Big boys are here now. Justin Thomas and DJ, they want to get their games tuned up for the upcoming majors, but maybe you can still score a nice price here at the Snake Pit at Innisbrook. I'm going to saddle up with Rose, and Woodland is a couple of long shot plays you can consider. Don't forget our buddy Adam Burke and the great podcast work he does for you right here at ATS.io.